Alright guys, this is Troy, Roadside RC. We're back here today with part 2 of our introduction to RC drifting. Alright, part 1, which we'll put a link to up here or a link to down there somewhere, was a all-wheel drive drift versus rear-wheel drive drift. Which one is better for you, right? And we went through how would you use it, where would they might be better, how much money should you expect to spend as you go through them. So which one would be better for how you are going to use a drift car in your world. Part 2 of this video for here today is going to say, all right, if you know that you want the rear-wheel drive drift car, you saw part 1, you're like, yeah, what I really want is rear-wheel drive. Then there's another question. The second question that then comes is, do you get the ready to run that MST offers, or do you get a kit and build it? So what we're going to do here today is I have picked up a ready to run version of the MST RMX. And we're going to compare how does this vehicle do out of the box versus the drift car that I already have that was a kit version that has been built and been modified. All right, here with the bodies off so that we can actually do a little bit more of a comparison. All right, just to note this out of the box, a couple things that have actually been changed on this ready to run, because I did buy it used because I'm cheap. It does actually have the aftermarket magnetic body mounts front and rear so that you don't have body posts sticking up. Do you really need to do that? No, you don't really need to do that, right? You can have body posts sticking out of your body and it would be fine. This was a $30 upgrade that you don't really need to spend. And this also has a Boom Racing upgraded gyro on it instead of the MST factory one. I asked the previous owner, why did you do that? Well, the MST one kind of sucks. It comes out of the box. So this is I found it online for $35, this Boom Racing. All right. So on my vehicle, of course, all the electronics are different. If you buy these, what do you get? For this ready to run out of the box, you would get it basically exactly as you see here, the body as you see, motor and speed control that is brushless, servo that's in it, shocks and everything that are on it. I believe it does actually come with the tires and wheels so that you are 100% ready to run straight out of the box. Now when we step over here to the kit version, what are you going to get? You're going to get a couple things. So you're going to notice that up here, these links are actually adjustable turnbuckle links, whereas on the ready to run version, they are not. They are all fixed. All right. Same thing on the rear, adjustable versus fixed. Now, the other thing that you will get is the ready to run version has a locked rear differential, whereas the kit version actually has a ball differential in it, which actually is an upgrade. So really, other than that, otherwise, they basically appear the same. Mine should have this same front bumper on it. It's actually in a box over there, but I took it off because of the body that I'm running. But otherwise, you can tell that the chassis is the same chassis. You can see this car has the battery mounts in the outermost location, but they're actually just adjustable. So you can just take 2 screws out and move them into the innermost position. Again, I have mine in the narrow position because of the body that I'm running. But otherwise, the hubs, the suspension mounting points, the basic chassis and all that is the same. It's the same between both vehicles. So what are you getting when you get the kit? You get the adjustable turnbuckles and you get the ball differential, which of course are things that you could buy as an upgrade if you really wanted them for the ready to run version later. All right, but here, so let's talk through. If you get this kit, what do you get when you get the kit? You get the chassis, you get the steering linkages and the suspension arms and all that. You still need to buy the wheels. You still need to buy the tires. You need to buy the servo, the gyro, the speed control, the motor. You have to add in your own controller and receiver. You have to get the body. You have to get the paint. So I'm going to put this total list down in the description of everything. If you wanted to rebuild my car as it sits right here today, what would it cost? This car, ready to run version, $360 plus another $440 for the upgraded gyro. So we're sitting at $400. I added it up this morning, which I never recommend that you actually do this for your RC cars. This car, as it sits, if you were going to go out and copy it right now, was just shy of $900. All right. So really what we're talking about is more than double the cost All right, so what we need to do now, we need to get batteries in them, and I'm going to show you how they drive. Like, what are the differences really when you drive these vehicles? How do they feel different? How do they look different as they drive? Is one of them much more capable than the other one? All right, so now we've gone through what these vehicles cost. We've even taken a look at how they drive a little bit, and I'll be honest, like in my garage, driving solo, not trying to go side by side with somebody else, they're pretty dang close. Can I tell that there's some refinement in the steering and with the throttle control, with this being a censored brushless setup versus a non-censored in the other car? Yeah, I can tell that there's some differences in that. But is it more than double? Is it worth more than double the price? For somebody who's just getting into RC drift, I can't really say that it is. So bottom line, end of the result here, you might have seen this coming, is if you're just starting in RC drift, if this is the first car that you're going to pick up, you know that you want a rear wheel drive, you've done your study, you don't want an all wheel drive, you want a rear wheel drive, get the ready to run. It saves you a bunch of money right up front. You get to test out the hobby, see if you really like it or not. If you don't, they hold their value really good. So when you resell this thing, you're going to be selling it and getting basically all your money back. And as it turns out, if you really like it, you have upgrade paths. You can put the adjustable control arms in it. You can put the ball diff in the back of it. You can start over time. You can start throwing on the fancier speed control and motor, adding in the fancier controller and the better gyro. You can do all this stuff over time. You don't have to outlay all that money right at the first step. And let's be clear, This build that's on mine is kind of a semi-budget build. If you were really going to come into this and you were going to go into it with a very nice Yokomo higher end kit to start with, just the kit itself, like I talked about, some of those kits are $500, just the kit. So get the ready to run, try it out. Now, this is obviously only applies to folks who are newer to Drift RC. That's what this whole video is about, is if you're newer to Drift. If you're not new to Drift, then you already know what you're getting yourself into. Maybe you want to step up to a nicer kit. Maybe you do go get that fancier kit. But you probably also have some electronics to move over to it also if you're doing that. So I hope this is helpful. If you have questions, comments, or anything, leave them down below. I'm happy to respond back and see if I can help you in any way. Let us know anything else. We appreciate it if you liked this video. Also, if you're going to subscribe, we really appreciate that. It means a lot to us. Thank you.